returned after a long hiatus. How many weeks has it been? It's been quite a while. Almost 2 months, it feels like, right? Maybe a month and a half. Maybe about a month and a half. But we're back. We're back in action. And we have a new format. We have a new show for you. It has changed drastically. So as opposed to the rigid structure that we had going before the show with the different sections and this and that, we're just doing away with any sort of structure, and we're just going to talk about a few main stories, and we're going to talk about what we want, and that's the show. That's how it's going to be. Less structure, more laughs and goofs, and a new time today, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming on Twitch and YouTube. And yeah, that's what we have today. We were talking before the show about Twitch. We'll get into that. Twitch has had some PR recently that I want to touch on. I want to talk about Xbox. I want to talk about Ajit Pai. I want to talk about these fucking shoes made out of RTX 3080s. And we're going to talk about Blizzard and whatever else comes to mind. Oh, and also this AMD. Well, let's start on this AMD thing. So, my friend Max sent me this image here. And he sent me these pictures in a scurry, saying, "Wayne, you gotta look at this. This is insane. I'm so mad. Can you believe this?" And he sends me a picture. He was able to get a Ryzen 9 5900X, which is tough to get. They're not easy to get. He got one in, except it came sort of like out of its package. And then he sent me this picture. And I don't know if you guys can see, but almost all the pins are like the corner up here. They're all fucked.
Counting at like 35, dude. It's fucked.
Yeah, it's unsalvageable. And I was asking him some questions. I was like, wait a second. He was like, you have to touch on it because this is a problem with AMD's packaging. It seems to be like a lot of people have had this issue where the chip kind of like comes loose in the box and I guess starts bouncing around in there during shipping. And yeah, that's a useless CPU. So on top of the CPUs that are already tough to get, they have to deal with, replacing these ones because they, I guess, don't know how to package a chip. So make sure if you get your AMD chip and you see it flopping around in there, chances are your pins are bent. Look at the corner. Like, it's just unsalvageable. Like, you can see here, these might be fixable.
You could fix it if you're very delicate, but you shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Like, it is fixable. If you're very delicate, I've had to fix ones almost that bad or it's close to that level, and you can do it, but it's a bitch. It takes like a couple of hours of like having needle nose tweezers just like so delicately bending them back, dude.
That's so sketch.
It's pain.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so sketchy. But and then the problem is too, is like this is an expensive piece, but it's also like an in-demand piece.
$500 CPU.
Yeah, it's not like a RAM or something that's just like, all right, whatever. At least I could still use the computer without it for now. But this is like, this is like as bad as a GPU coming all fucked up. Damn. So Max, hopefully you're able to get this replaced. And hopefully AMD kind of solve this issue. I imagine they just need to like tape it better.
That scares me because I'm trying to buy one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's absurd and kind of sucks because like I'm thinking of buying one of those. I went to Micro Center today. They're out of stock, of course, but like, dude, I want one. But that terrifies me is if it gets bent because cool, okay, you spent 2 months waiting to be able to even fucking buy one of these things, and now you're gonna have to send it back to AMD, and they're gonna have to spend another 2 months to even fucking make one to send you.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that sucks. So watch out for that. Yeah, this is this is the picture he took of the box. The chip is just fucking sitting at the bottom of the box. I would have been fuming, man. Fuming. I've never bought a CPU online. I usually get them at Micro Center. I didn't even realize this is a thing that could happen. Yeah. Damn.
I mean, that is a benefit of being able to buy it from Micro Center if you have one, is you can just open the box and just door like in the parking lot and then just be like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. Um. So what's up, guys? Have you guys been up to
Especially,
anything?
well, the other thing too is like the with the way a lot of computer parts buying on the high end is sketchy as hell right now too. That's like terrifying too. Is like, dude, if you bought that from a third party or like a scalper or some shit, you're fucked.
Jared, can you do me a
They're
favor?
not gonna they're not gonna replace that.
Can you center your camera a little bit more? Because you're kind of getting
Not really,
blocked.
but I can try. Yeah.
The thing is kind of blocking you a little bit. Um. Yeah, it's a bad time to buy any PC parts right now. At least anything new, anything modern.
Yeah.
Um. It's just a rough time. You're just. I'm hearing March, but then I heard it got pushed back to June until we start to seeing like some of the demand, some of the supply meet the demand. I think that this is all just fluff and like just bullshit from the manufacturers. I don't think this is gonna meet until next year, to be honest. I mean, how fast did they sell out already? Like they're still like just instantly selling out. Prices are going up and they're still instantly selling out. Consoles are still selling out. They just dropped on Walmart and they sold out almost instantly. It's just
Oh yeah,
there's
there's
so much demand.
Best Buy dropped their first shipment of graphics cards since the first one, I think, and it sold out within a minute. Everything they dropped: a 3060 Ti, a 3070, a 3080, 3090, 5600, 5800, 5900, 5950, all of them
Yeah.
just gone.
Yeah, in like a minute. Yeah. It's out of control. Hey, Kate, did you get the pizza? Can you get the pizza at the door?
But yeah, it's been bad, but at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know. I'm not in a position where I need any of these upgrades at the moment, so it's been fun to watch in a weird way of me of just like, oh, maybe if I get lucky, I'm just kind of like, it's like gambling, you know what I mean? That's not even getting into what Newegg is doing now. Newegg literally just made fucking loot boxes. Did
Oh,
you see
really?
that?
No.
Dude, Newegg is straight up now just for their members, they're going in limited times and just sending out emails of like, hey, do you want to sign up to join a raffle to potentially buy one of these things?
Oh my
They
god.
don't even they're not even doing it first come first serve anymore. You have to fucking sign into a fucking bullshit lottery to be able to have the opportunity to fucking buy them.
That's like the high-end vape market. that's
Yeah,
like
like
that's like the
it's absurd.
that's like the keyboard market too. When there's like the limited keyboard runs, you have to pay to get the chance to pay for the product.
Yeah, I don't think you have to pay for it, luckily, but it's still just like,
Not yet,
dude,
maybe.
what, like, okay, so you literally made like a loot box of like, sign up for, here's 10 different things we're offering, sign up for up to 3 of them if you want them, and then if we get them and you win the lottery, you can buy them at full price.
Yeah, it's been nuts. Honestly, this was like the first time where I was like, thank God I was an early adopter, because not only was I able to like, not only just don't have to worry about it.
You weren't even the earliest adopter, is the fucked
Yeah,
up part.
yeah,
You were in like round 4.
yeah. But it's not only do I not have to worry about it, but it's like I also they raised the price on them. I didn't
You got in
realize.
before the 25% China tariff.
I did not realize they raised them that high. That's
Yeah.
insane. Let me
Thanks, Trump.
see the pricing on that. What was it?
No, like
What chip? What card was it?
Asus and companies that, okay, so a lot of GPUs and things like that get manufactured in Taiwan, which isn't part of the um, tariffs due to obvious reasons between China and Taiwan being 2 separate countries. But if you're like an Asus and you do make your stuff in China, it's having extra tariffs and stuff like that. So Asus just like rose everything 25%.
This Power Color AMD $6,800 is $944, and then you can get the 6800 XT for $1,050.
Okay,
What the
that is
fuck?
well, that is a flip side. Because, okay, so the tariffs started happening. AMD's getting fucked, but so are some NVIDIA cards because, oh yeah, mining's back for some reason.
Yeah. Sort of,
because
not really though.
it's not, but because Bitcoin's 30 grand, mining's back. It really isn't, but it's new cards, so it kind of works for like 6 weeks. So like buy 7 of them week 1 and it's back.
I don't know why people are saying that because like no one really GPU mines it. It's been out for like 2 years now. Maybe that's just like
It's not
I
for
don't know.
Bitcoin, it's still for altcoins and shit like that. But
Yeah,
like some people
maybe.
were figuring out ways with like the high end Nvidia 30 series and some of the AMDs to make it money efficient, but it's still just like don't.
You could just get an ASIC miner, which is like half the price, and then it's way better. But
Yeah, but
yeah,
that's not as cool as stealing everyone's graphics cards during a
stealing
pandemic when a
graphics.
shortage. Come on,
But
dude.
this is insane. The 6,800 for almost $1,000. That's fucking out of control. I didn't realize they went that high because I saw like the Nvidia's ones. They went up like maybe 25, $50. But
They
here, this
want
is like
more than that.
crazy.
Well, it depends on
At least the last time
the
I saw.
manufacturer.
Yeah, the last time I saw, I think it was like a $50 increase. It wasn't too much.
Well, it depends. It like I was saying, it depends on some where it's like, yeah, dude, you want a Asus Strix 3070, like $725.
Yeah, yeah. This
Should be a $530 card. It's $730 now.
yeah this 3070 is 800.
Yeah, for a
It's
fucking
insane.
3070.
Yeah, it's just not a good time to buy any PC parts. Just gotta
Unless
wait.
and that unless you hit the lottery and can get a Founders Edition. All Founders Editions on both AMD and Nvidia are still MSRP stock retail price.
Yeah.
If you can ever find one,
Yeah,
that's what I've been trying to do.
if you really try, you might be able to. But, you're
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. Just because, like, I want to upgrade. It'd be fun. It'd be nice. But like, I still got a 2060, which is fine enough.
these are like
Like
scalping prices.
I'm not in a position where I'm like, shit, dude, I need an upgrade. It's just more like, no, I want a high end graphics card again, but like, I'm just gonna wait till I can get one at MSRP.
And here's the other thing that we were talking about. It's like, say you do get like a good graphics card at a good price, then they bundle it. So then you have to buy like a shit PSU, or you have to buy like a shit like RAM kit or something. Ugh, it's tough. You just gotta wait, guy. You just gotta wait unless you're willing to pay it. Because if you have the
Or you can
money, you
just
might
get
as well
RAM.
just fucking pay it. Because you're gonna have it anyway. But if you're really trying to get it like at MSRP, you're just gonna have to wait. There's just no point.
Yeah, and I'm on team honestly. Just wait unless you need an upgrade, like unless you absolutely need it. But like if not, like, dude, it's a fucking computer part. Like by the time all of these are back in stock, we're gonna be a year away from the 40 series and the 7000 AMD series that are gonna be the same price and even better.
That's what I'm wondering if they're gonna do that, which would be kind of fucked
No,
up.
it'll still take a while, but like, dude, graphics cards and tech still is gonna probably go on a 2-3 year cycle. So like by the time COVID's over, like it's gonna be close to the next cycle.
Yeah, like next, like once this starts to finally, oh no, my camera. Once this finally starts to like meet its supply, I'm just wondering, like,
Oh yeah, so you'll still, I think if it does meet supply by like October, you'll still have another year and a half to almost 2 years before a new graphics card top end's coming out.
yeah,
But if you are in that spot of like, I mean, if you're,
I could see them being like, here's the super line, here's a 3080
they
super,
probably would, no, there
and
will
it's
be a
50
super line and shit
bucks.
like
It's
that.
only
Yeah.
50 bucks more, and you get like 15% IPC, and
Yeah, honestly, and that's part of it is just like, yeah, wait for the super line because that super line probably will come out in a year once everything's fixed.
yeah, and then
Like
hopefully
straight
that
out.
really just kind of lets you get whatever these cards are at
And
MSRP.
that's why for me, I can't justify, like, unless you absolutely need it at this moment, I can never justify overpaying for tech just
Yeah,
because, yeah, dude, wait 6 months, it's been replaced already anyways.
yeah.
Buy the better thing at that right time anyway.
All right. So yeah, just wait on that. All right, so this Xbox thing. Xbox. Why does my camera keep freezing? Oh shit. My cord is like fucked up.
And here we see the problems of Canon overheating in real time.
Oh no, what the fuck?
Got a little out there. That was good. This is why you go Fuji, which doesn't overheat, even though it totally overheats. Or you jump on my Nikon bandwagon, and I really shouldn't do that.
Why not? Why are you not? Why don't you want to get a Nikon? You just don't want to deal with Nikon. You rather have like.
It's just the well, okay.
I wouldn't. I personally.
The reason for getting a Nikon Z6 right now is there's such a fucking absurdly insane steal. Like use Nikon Z6s for like 1000, like 1.1. Dude, they're it's a fucking steal for how relevant and good that camera still is.
Yeah, it's
The
pretty
problem
good.
I have is like the Z6 II was kind of a letdown, and do I want to invest into Nikon and Nikon's future?
Yeah,
It doesn't, you know what I mean?
that's why I wouldn't. That's probably
Yeah.
personally why I wouldn't.
Like that, but like if you wanted to only buy a one full frame camera and or two and a 24 to 70 or something, like it's a really fucking good deal.
Yeah, and it's a good brand, but I'm just not a Nikon. I'm not interested in them right now. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why.
If you just need 4K 2430, like it's a fucking solid system.
If it had a flip screen, I might even be more
True.
swayed by it. But all right, Xbox Live pricing has doubled. They doubled the pricing. This is a move. Well, here's their post here. It says, we launched Xbox Live 18 years ago. Can you believe that they launched it 18 fucking years ago? We've been working to make it the most advanced multiplayer network available. I would say that Xbox Live is the best online service from the gaming companies. I think they do it better than Sony, but they definitely do it better than Nintendo. Millions of people come together on Xbox to play with friends and discover games. What does this mean for you? So here it says, in many markets, price of Xbox Live Gold has not changed for years, and in some markets, it hasn't changed for over 10 years. So what does this mean for you? If you're an existing online 12-month or 6-month Live Gold member, there is no price change. If you choose to renew your membership, it will renew at your current price. So it's not going to change until you have to renew it. The price of 1 month is increasing $1. The price of 3 months is increasing $5, or the equivalent amount in your local market. If you're looking to upgrade your gold memberships to Games Pass, your remaining gold time will also convert directly to Ultimate up to 36 months. For example, if you have 11 months of Xbox Live Gold now and you upgrade to Game Pass, those 11 months convert to 11 months of Ultimate at no additional cost. 1 month, going forward, new pricing will be 1 month $10.99, 3 months $30, and 6 months $60. So $60 for every 6 months, or $120 a year for
What was it before?
what was it, like $30?
Dude, I can't remember because I was gonna say back in the day, wasn't it like $60 a year?
It is 60. Well, it
Yeah.
was $60 a year. Now, not anymore.
Yeah, it was
So now it's doubling in price, basically.
yeah, they
Yeah, pretty
basically
much.
doubled it in price. Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's definitely a different value proposition.
And I know I get why, because they're just, and it's not because that service costs any more to fucking run. It doesn't. It's to push you to Games Pass, and
Yeah.
Games Pass is worth it.
Yeah, but is
But
it worth it at
That's still
100?
scummy as shit to do, dude.
Is
So
it-
one of the things that who knows what's gonna happen, and I've seen a few people talk on Twitter about it. They're they're upping this price. I got to imagine Sony is sitting there going, well, we could now charge 80 instead of 60 and still say, hey, look, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Now, for me, if Sony really wanted to jump in on this, they need to lower the price of PS Now or include it into your online subscription for a better deal. Because PS Now is not a terrible service. It's just way overpriced.
Now,
Yeah.
would you accept So would you accept PlayStation Online going to 120 if it included now?
No.
No, I think the highest they could do that would be 80 to 90.
PS
If
Now
it,
is
no.
60 a year currently. And does that
I'm saying
that
I'm
includes online, right?
I don't think so. Let me check.
Yeah, I'm
I
looking
mean, if
too.
it does, then shit, dude. PlayStation
Because
should
PS
market the
Now is
hell out of
just
that.
PS Now is their on-demand service.
Yeah. And
Right,
it's
not PlayStation Plus.
I think PS Now
It's not
sucks
PS Plus.
compared to Xbox. I mean,
No, it does.
Games
But
Pass is
if
pretty good for
but
sure.
Yes.
that's my worry is like, okay, well they'll just say, hey, it's 120 bucks now a year, but you get online and PS Now versus just getting online with Xbox.
Yeah, which is like, I mean, the thing is like you're gonna have to pay that if you want to play these games online. That's the problem, you know. It's like you kind of have to if you want to play them online. So I mean, they can really charge whatever
Well,
the
that's
fuck they
that's
want.
the flip side of Sony is like, dude, half of the games you don't need online for.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing I see says that PS Now includes online.
Yeah,
So it's
I
a
don't know
separate
if it
service
does.
that you would have to get with it. And what they offer is like PlayStation games on PC.
It is separate. It says right here.
Um, it's 60 a year.
Plus what?
So that's already 120. It's just 60.
Yeah.
But that's the flip side is what games do you need PlayStation Online for?
So I was mentioning this. This is actually interesting. I haven't
don't
seen what other
think I
free-to-play
have
games
one.
do, but let's take the most popular. I guess you could argue the most popular online game right now, Fortnite. You want to play it on the Nintendo Switch? Do you need to have a Nintendo Switch Online to play it? No. If you want to play Fortnite on PlayStation, do you have to have the PlayStation Online? No. If you want to play Fortnite on Microsoft on Xbox, you have to have either Gold or Games Pass. You have to have an online service that you pay for to play Fortnite on Xbox. It's the only system that you actually have to pay to play online.
Yeah.
And it's like that for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting to me, especially with them raising the price now. And I'm only taking Fortnite as one example because
Right.
Well, Warzone
it's
you
so
don't have
popular.
to. You don't have to with Warzone. You can play it on Nintendo Switch, but you don't have to with
Yeah.
Warzone. Was the other one? Apex you don't have
Imagine
to.
playing any online game on
I was
Nintendo
gonna say, I
Switch.
think the only game that I have to pay PlayStation for is Monster Hunter. I think
Yeah.
that's it that I would play normally.
Yeah.
Like NHL, you don't have to for Chell. Any EA game, you don't.
Yeah.
Is Rocket
you just
League
get
on
through.
Xbox?
Yeah, Rocket League's on
Yeah.
Xbox.
Because Rocket League is free to play now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the entire list is, but like, I've always never realized that is like the vast like any EA game you don't have to. I was playing Star Wars. I got Star Wars Battlefront for free on one of our accounts. So Kate and I both have our each own PlayStation account, but we only pay for live on one of them.
Sorry.
So you still get the free game, but you can still play them without the online service on the other account.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need online.
Yeah, I mean they want to push you to Games Pass. Maybe they're trying to go to parity because if you look at the PS Plus plus PS Now, it is 120 a year because they're both 60
Right, but
bucks.
who the fuck plays for PS Now?
I don't know.
It's 60. Like I see that's kind of scummy. I get why they're pushing you to Games Pass because they should push you to Games Pass because Games Pass is really good, but that shouldn't come at the expense of everyone else.
Yeah, because it's a doubling in price, which is
Yeah.
that's
And
a
I'll
lot.
tell you what, that to actually run that service right now costs cheaper than ever.
But I will argue
That's
it is.
the fucking weird, crazy part of it to me.
Rocket League requires Xbox Live Gold to play.
Yeah, you probably need Xbox Live to play online on Xbox.
Don't need it for Apex Legends though. That's weird.
Is that the only one?
Yeah, dude.
Let's see. Warzone requires Xbox Gold. It's like it's spell.
Yeah, but then like, how do you even do like the party stuff? Like, how do you do voice chat? Like,
Spellbreak requires Xbox Live Gold.
do they just use like their own sort of like friends server, I guess, with Apex? Would that be how that works? Or even like PlayStation, like do they use like their own like friends server for PlayStation if you don't have PlayStation Plus?
It's just your EA Origin bullshit.
Yeah, that's so weird yeah, Apex Legends does, as far as I can see on their page, does not require Xbox Gold to play. That's weird.
Yeah, it might just be the only one though.
Like, let me see. Does Destiny 2 require? Probably. Actually, no, it might be. Maybe not. Doesn't look like it.
So that you don't.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Do you need Xbox
Some
Live
games
Gold?
are and some games aren't.
Oh, it says
You
here.
just get you just get the stuff included.
So this
with
is what it
you
says here.
buy
You
it.
for Destiny at least. You don't need Xbox Live to play the game, but you do need it for any matchmaking or forming a fire team. You know, any sort of
course.
like voice ship. So that's kind of what I'm wondering. Is like, how does that work for the other games? Like, say you don't have PlayStation Plus, because you can't use any of like the PlayStation like Friends features.
Warframe requires online to a paid online service with Xbox. That's wild that that there are so many games that you could play on Sony that you don't need it, but Xbox does require you to pay.
Yeah. Fall
And now
Guys, you don't need it.
now they're raising the price.
And so on PlayStation, you don't need it for. I don't need it for Fall
Jeez.
Guys. I don't need it for Battlefront. I don't need it for Chell. I don't need it for Madden.
But you don't need it for Phantasy Star Online too. That's really funny. Then again, they paid a lot of money to get that brought over here. So
I'm wondering if they just don't have a framework for matchmaking. If that's the reason, if they just use Xbox's sort of like matchmaking thing. Anyways,
it's so weird.
I still think it's probably worth it. Like, I think Games Pass is worth it. That's the thing. I do think so.
I mean, if it was one or the other, I'd choose Games Pass every time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even if it was at 120 a year, which is pretty crazy, but 120 a year and you get Games Pass plus Xbox Live Online, I still think it's worth it, especially when they're bringing on all of the EA stuff. I mean, they're constantly loading it up with games. It's not like a bad deal, you know? It isn't a bad deal. And we also have to remember gaming is just getting more expensive at the same time.
It is, but that's where I'm going to fight back on this. Is like, gaming is getting more expensive. Creating games is getting more expensive. Running a server is cheaper than fucking ever.
Yeah, but I wonder
But that's
exactly
what I don't get about this like ideas. This is where the sales as a service kind of idea falls apart, where it's like, dude, that you're charging twice as much to play online when it's literally cheaper than ever. Like, that's just money grabbing, dude.
I wonder, but I wonder how much like if there's like a cut of it somewhere. You know what I mean? Like if they somehow split that pricing up in some way.
I don't know. Especially just buy games
'Cause they-
Pass or
I mean-
don't buy online. If you're just gonna buy online, you're getting ripped off.
Yeah, because like Microsoft has their whole like Azure stuff. Like it's definitely cheaper for them to like host shit.
Yeah, the Joker's cheaper than ever.
But that's what makes
AWS is cheaper than ever.
that's what's
Like,
funny
my
about
point,
this is like it's still a good deal. At the end of the day, it's not a bad deal.
I would say games. Well, I would say Games Pass is still a good deal, and it's making Games Pass a good deal. If you're just buying online, no, it's a fucking terrible deal.
Yeah,
You're now paying twice as much as any other competition.
yeah.
It's a fucking terrible deal.
They shouldn't even allow it. Honestly, they should just say this is the pricing. You know that you get Games Pass and you also get this. Whatever. You don't like it, then don't do it. Especially if they're gonna have like games that don't use it. It's just making it confusing. I wonder if PlayStation is gonna kind of go the same route. How much is Nintendo Online? I forget how much it is.
$20 a year, I think, right?
That's it, right?
Yeah, and when in 5 years, when they finally catch up to where we are in 2021, they'll charge 40, and still offer you nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, except for some old NES and SNES games, if you really want to play those.
It's just a bear. Yeah, it's a joke. But
Yeah, it'll still be
Whatever.
peer to peer. There'll be no servers. And it'll still have crap online because nobody uses Ethernet. They all use Wi-Fi.
I have hope Nintendo fixes their online next generation, whatever that may be. I do have hope.
Like maybe including a Ethernet port in the actual dock, which I still argue is one of the dumbest things they did, was not include an Ethernet port in that dock. It's a friggin' dock. It's not that difficult to design. You can put an Ethernet port in the damn thing.
I mean, they could put it. They can put like I don't know. The dock could be way better. It's basically just a fucking HDMI splitter, is all.
I mean, that's the rumor that the 4K Pro Switch will really just be the dock being a lot of the powering supply for it. But
I don't even see how that would work. They need a whole different architecture. Such an old chip.
I don't believe any of the rumors.
I will throw out there too, though. Hey, if you are that worried about Xbox Live Gold membership, and you are currently in the boat of only wanting to pay for Xbox Live Gold membership, go to fucking Costco, my dude.
Get 24 months.
You can still get 24 months for $90 right now at Costco. Go buy 2 or 3 of those cards, and you'll be set for 6 years.
Really?
Yeah, because they're not changing the pricing until whenever you lapse in coverage, basically, I guess. So like, yeah, just go buy a bunch of 20. You stock up now. You're good. The card's not gonna not work.
Yeah, go get them.
I don't think there are expiration dates on those, right?
There probably some. So. There's probably some sort
There's
of.
Some
weird...
expiration date, but it's not like within like a year or two. It's
no,
not unless you. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can stack it, but if you can stack it, damn, just claim them all in a row.
Hey, you might be able to even stack it. Yeah.
You could stack Nintendo online stuff, I believe, when they did the free like 1 year or whatever it was.
You should be able.
It would stack. So
that might be your secret party trick. If
now.
You're trying to keep in a budget. Is just go buy fucking cards and you're set, dude. Before the price increases.
You know what? Buy them now. Once the price is all gone, sell them.
Then you can scalp them.
Sell them for 90. Scalp them. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah,
you're already scalping PS5s. Might as well scalp the Xbox Online.
$600 consoles, $120 online services,
$70 games,
$70 controllers. It's just a lot more money to fucking play some games now.
Dude, speaking of controllers, so
they always told me a gaming PC isn't worth it.
Yeah, right now it's finally starting to make sense.
You have the
PS5. Not in the current market.
I mean, if you just
1650 graphics card for 300 fucking bucks.
I noticed this the other day about the PS5 controller. So
hold on. All right, go ahead. Finish your thing because I have to rant about it after you.
They're selling replacement parts for this that you could just, I guess they 3D print them and you can buy them on Amazon.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Take this thing
still
off.
Such a fucking ugly controller.
So it was $10 on Amazon, and then I saw somebody put a YouTube video up, and they got a lot of traction. And then I went back to look; they raised that price to $13.
Yeah, that capitalism working in action.
Oh man, fuck you!
I love it. Raise it to 15 now that Doobie said it. Put it up. 15.
And I will say that I'm still not used to this grippy thing on the back.
All right, my turn.
I'm still not used to it.
I hate this controller. After playing Dark Souls with it, I fucking hate this controller. It's the worst controller ever made. It's so uncomfortable, and I
thought you loved it.
I did at first, but a long gaming session, oh my god, the triggers. The problem is that if the game doesn't like make the motors
like a controllers, yeah.
If the triggers, if the triggers don't have the motor thing working in it. So any game that just doesn't do like the haptics in the controller.
Any PS4 games you play.
The triggers are so long. So when you're like doing shit where you have to constantly press these triggers, it gets like tiring on your hand. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And then I played Metal Gear Solid on the Xbox controller. So much better, dude. So much better.
This is the problem.
DualShock 4 is still better.
Yeah, this is the problem with the PS5 controller when it comes to those like haptic features right now. And it's the same thing that happened to the Joy-Cons with the HD Rumble. There's just no games out yet, and nobody's really using that technology.
Yeah.
So when we eventually get games that might use it, it might be a lot better. But there's just no games.
I need like a scuff to come out and replace this controller. I need a different shape. I want like that old DualShock shape.
I finally bought my first PS5 game.
Is it Dark
it's
Souls?
just a port of a PS4 game.
Oh man, Dark Souls.
I got Devil May Cry 5.
Dark Souls is great. And then
Hey, dude, at least it's not a port of a PS3 game.
I
Oh, no,
did.
I'm playing that
or-
now because I'm playing the Yakuza games on PS4, but I'm playing them on PS5. So I'm playing PS3 games on my PS5.
Dude, then just wait. The next game that's going to come out is Final Fantasy VII Remake, so you can play your PlayStation 1 game.
To be fair,
on your
I'm
PS5.
not gonna lie to you, Jerry. I'm sorry to say this. I've been actually kind of in the urge to play Final Fantasy VII Remake again.
Oh no,
Dude, I mean,
the
that's
hard
fine.
mode.
If you want
The
to play
hard
it,
mode,
that's
because the
that's
hard mode
fine.
apparently is
I'm,
like actually really hard.
I'm still just going to call you out for actually buying that trash.
Man,
but
that
like,
game
if you
is
want to play
great.
it, go for it.
I love that game.
It's
I'm
just
sorry.
don't encourage them to keep remaking fucking PlayStation 1 games, please.
To be fair, I will say to be fair for Final Fantasy VII, when the next one comes out, I still think remake is a bad name for it because it's not really a remake. It's
it's a reimagining.
It's a complete reimagining of that game. It's unlike some of the other remakes where they just try to go faithful 1-to-1 and it's a remaster. FF7 Remake is like at least like a different version of Final Fantasy 7, and who knows what crazy directions they take it in. I will defend that game.
You don't want.
Sorry.
Do you want to know a crazy take that I'm about to make right now? I will say Final Fantasy VII Remake is a better RPG than Cyberpunk is. I will.
I wouldn't disagree with
I
that
will
one.
say that.
That's fine. You're talking about one of the best RPGs of all time ever made. At the same time, like, it's not that. I just don't
get
want
where
him to
you're
keep
coming from.
remaking it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
I don't want to
it's-
be like 10 years from now. It's like, shit, dude, I can't write for Final Fantasy VII remake. Like, make a new fucking game.
I think it's. I mean, well, it's funny because I was like re-going through FF7.
I don't want the Cyberpunk remake in 10 years is what I'm saying.
Reading a bunch of interviews. The reason why they did it is because of their mortality. They realized that they're eventually going to die, and they wanted to retouch upon FF7 one last time before they die, and leave it behind as a legacy. And the game is a continuation of Final Fantasy VII. It's less a remake than it is a sequel.
Well, this is what I think too.
That's why I argue for FF7. I'm like, it's different than like another shitty remaster or remake that just feels like it's made just for a cash grab.
And then the other.
Whereas FF7 is like, there's care put into it. There's a lot of other stuff. It's got originality to it, even though it's a quote unquote remake.
And also, like, the original Final Fantasy VII is so dated. It's just like it's like you might as well play like a fucking Sega game. And like the consoles that we have now, I feel like we're not going to be able to, I don't think we're going to surpass this type of game design for a long time until some sort of like VR world that we live in. You know?
Final Fantasy VII Remake is a better game and a better Final Fantasy than Final Fantasy 15 was.
Yeah.
I will
That's
live by
valid, but just then maybe you should have spent that time making Final Fantasy 16 better.
that. Which they are making and looks good.
Also,
but then again, that's because
Days
Final
Gone.
Fantasy 14.
I was playing Days
just
Gone, and they have
Make something newer than Final Fantasy. I don't know. Like, maybe
imagine
you should have
that.
realized by the time you get to 30 fucking Final Fantasy games, it could be cool to see a new attempt on the genre.
I mean, you got Bravely
Imagine.
Default, you've got Octopath Traveler. Other
Right, but I just mean
RPGs.
like from them, you know what I mean? Like I want to see a new RPG from Square Enix. Like that could be interesting, you know what I mean? But like when we're just sitting here like, oh,
we are getting some weird game that they. What was it called? The one that we saw with the space woman.
I'd probably be more excited for that. It's
Man, I thought
it's
that
the
was
same thing where
Capcom.
it's like, honestly, I think like for Bethesda, I'm actually like I'm more interested in what they might do with the Star-Lord bullshit than, well, yeah, dude, we'll
Hey,
see
now that
Elder
they're owned-
Scrolls 7 in 8 years. Like,
now they're owned by Microsoft, maybe they'll have actually quality assurance.
Yeah.
Mm.
I doubt
but, like,
it.
I don't know. It's just
maybe.
that idea of where it's like, and this is you can all make fun of me. I'm gonna, when we're done here, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna log on to World of Warcraft. Like we might have played for 20 years,
True.
but it's at least evolved. But that's cool. I like WoW. I'm not waiting. Okay, no.
That's your
See where I'm going?
justification.
No. What I'm going with this is though, like, I'm not interested in a lot of other MMOs because they all kind of suck. But I would like to see someone. I want the WoW killer. You know what I mean? I don't want to see Bethesda make the WoW killer. I want someone to make a better version of WoW than WoW. That would be sick. Instead of sitting here like, well, they all suck, so I guess I'm gonna play fucking WoW. It's the same thing with like RuneScape. I booted up RuneScape. That's still alive somehow, but it's like I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, dude, I can't wait to play WoW and RuneScape. Like, no, give me something that's better than that.
Time to go back to EverQuest.
No, I know exactly what you mean, but
Like,
I feel like that type of like
the idea of Diablo started sucking, so along came Path of Exile, and now Path of Exile's way fucking better than Diablo.
By the way,
and I'm way
Ritual
more
is so
excited.
good. Ritual is so. This league is so fucking
like,
good.
That's my argument of like, it's okay to stay in that same genre, but I do want to see like fresh new takes of that because now we have Path of Exile. It's a way fucking better game. Who's gonna make a better game than Path of Exile? That I'm interested in. You know what I mean? Instead of sitting here.
No,
like,
I know what you mean, but I also think like
those play JRPG again.
Those Path of Exiles, those like genre defining games, they're not common. You're just not going to see them. You know, and it's going to take so long to see something like that. I get it though. I understand.
I agree with that,
like,
but it's you're throwing like, okay, so I agree that that's very uncommon, but it's not going to. You're not going to see another one if all of so that game coming about is you're throwing darts at a chessboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's random luck if that game is going to come out, but that game isn't going to come out if the entire market is moving towards.
Right.
Well, I'm making Madden 24 and I'm making Star Wars Battlefront Reloaded, Remastered, Remixed.
Well, I was thinking like earlier because Hitman 3 came out, and I was like, I like the very first Hitman. It was like one of my favorite games. But then I'm looking at this one, I'm like, this is just like a Ubisoft checkpoint rider. You know what I mean? Like,
it is. It's short as hell.
Go to checkpoint to checkpoint.
And its big selling point is it includes the campaigns of 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's just like
It's cool if you've never played them, but
I got them free from Games Pass.
And they're easy. Yeah. They're easy too. Like I want I don't know. I want games to be more.
No,
I know what you mean.
They're a lot easier. Yeah, the new Hitman's a good example of that, where it's like. You're just the issue is you're getting into a place where you're just making worse versions of the same game.
Yeah.
And or you're making a better version of the same game, and it would be cool to like. And
they sell well.
We need more people going out of the box of like actually trying to make that good, cool game.
Yeah.
Because most of them are gonna suck. Let's be honest, most of them are gonna suck. But if people aren't taking that risk, you're just.
I will
not gonna see it ever.
I will say your description of Final Fantasy VII is a little skewed because to me
I use it. I just use it as an example.
I know.
I acknowledge that they did a lot more than just remake it, but I've just used that as an example of like
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake, which was really, I mean, they pretty much
final
kind of made it look
Resident
really nice.
Evil. Another Resident Evil that was a cash
Resident
grab.
Evil 3 was a cash grab for sure. I mean, the original Resident Evil 3 was also a cash grab, so it kind of makes sense that the remake was also a cash grab.
Yeah, it's 10 hours long. It was a fucking 7-hour game.
People were expecting RE3 remake to be.
It's cooler.
Like they didn't remember that RE3 itself was like a 10-hour game.
Like
and they made another 10-hour game.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
I do agree that if there's one to break that mold, it is Final Fantasy, and I should harp on that one less, but it's just it's just that whole concept. It's just.
And there was the news of RE4 remake that came out where
I played WoW for 20 years. I don't want to play WoW for another 20 years because no one's gonna make a fucking better game. Like, just make the fucking better game.
I have a feeling if a better game comes along, you're still gonna play WoW. I will stand by that.
I don't. No, I don't. I don't actually. I would probably switch to the new better game.
Not immediately.
Yeah,
I'd jump on quick.
I think
it would take me a while to hook me as much, but like hell yeah, I'd jump, dude. Like I said, dude, before I played WoW, I played fucking RuneScape. Before I played RuneScape, I played a little bit of EverQuest and I played a little bit of Dark Age of Camelot. Like, I'm fine jumping to the new better MMO. Like,
yeah,
but when it's Phantasy
actually
Star
need the
Online,
new better MMO.
Yeah, I would love to see. Yeah, I feel like
an anime MMO. It was I'm trying to remember. Ragnarok Online.
Oh yeah, that was a fucking MMO.
Maple Story.
Yeah, that was an MMO. I guess that's kind of an MMO.
Yeah, they were
Dang it,
MMOs.
Tech.
I played a lot of Asheron's Call and EverQuest. Those are.
The fucking Warhammer one wasn't terrible either.
That was
What
a
else
golden
there?
age, the golden age of PC gaming. It was like that era.
The Wild Star experiment. That wasn't terrible. Wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
I do
I still
think-
tried all the other MMOs, dude.
I do think
They've
Dark
just
Age
been
of
bad.
Camelot was the best one of like that genre, as I love the whole fucking like faction thing. It's kind of like what WoW does, right?
Yeah, like they've gotten better, and like WoW has gotten
I know nothing about WoW.
up and down. It's gone up and down a lot, but like I want just make me the new game. Make me a new fun game. That's all I'm asking for from all of these like shooters. Like that's why I'm gonna rail on Valorant because I think it's a bad new shooter. But like, yes, please giving me more new shooters instead of Call of Duty 80,000.
Yeah.
I don't want another new Halo. I don't want another new COD. Like, yeah, give me a Valorant. Give me something like that of at least
But Valorant is just a Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
right. But
it
at least
really
it's like
is.
at least it's a new take on it of like
It's
so
Overwatch meets Counter Strike.
Well, like in the MOBA, I've
it
been
is,
playing a
but-
lot of MOBAs. I mean, like every MOBA
But
is
that's
just a
it's
rip-off
different.
I
league.
mean, you can say that about any game. Any game is blank meets blank for the most part. That's just,
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, it takes a
right,
while
right.
to have like
that's the
that.
evolution of games.
It takes a while
Right,
for
no,
like
yeah.
that new league to come out, that new Counter Strike to come out. Like those
Yeah.
games, like just take forever to fucking come out.
But my argument is I'd rather see that someone attempt that new IP instead of just like, yeah, dude, we made Call of Duty Modern Warfare 7.
yeah, yeah, and they sell well. That's the thing.
Then
Like,
next year we're gonna make Call of Duty World
Black
War
Ops
5.
20.
they sell really well. They have microtransactions now, so they make even more money on top of that. Now they're $70. Now you have to buy online with them. Now you have to use a shitty PlayStation controller to play them. That's $70. All right.
Yeah.
What do you
Like that-
guys think?
Sorry, that's the crux of my argument. I like people. I like old Sony and electronics of just making weird, batshit, stupid, awesome, cool stuff.
I mean,
And if it works, it works, and if it
Escape-
doesn't, it doesn't. But take that risk, please.
Ape Escape was a game that literally was designed for the analog sticks of the PlayStation 1 original DualSense controller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and that's
DualShock.
the shit. What was cool? Monkey Ball.
Yeah, it was
cool as
weird.
Shit.
It was experimental.
Yeah,
It
Monkey
was
Ball
different.
rocked.
Katamari Damacy, however you pronounce it.
I love Katamari.
Well, dude, I've been into Minecraft and like I didn't realize how good
Minecraft!
I didn't realize how good
Yeah.
it was. You know what I mean?
And then
I've
you get the
played it.
Minecraft spin-offs of Terraria. I mean, you can. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know if Stardew Valley counts. But
Yeah, no, they
still,
count.
Kind of Sims.
They all count. Those are the. I mean, I
Building
love those
sims.
games too. Yeah.
And we do want to make a Minecraft server at some point.
Yeah, yeah,
People
yeah.
want to play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna happen. It'll probably be a Feed the Beast, some sort of Feed the Beast server. All right.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I just make new cool shit. That's all I want.
Can you make new cool shit if the U.S. government thinks 3 megabits per second upload speeds are fast enough? Can we do that?
Hell no, you.
Probably not. Was that up? Well, at least that's upload. But come on, man.
Yeah, but upload is like what really matters. Is what you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's
Well,
what
it does-
really matters.
What's the
It
recommended
does,
upload
but
to
it's-
stream on Twitch? Is it 10?
Yeah, you should have about at least.
I
10.
think
So-
like
so,
12.
okay,
They're saying
three
that,
three megabits per second upload is like 1080p ish.
Yeah. Bit
Have
like
fun,
a bit.
have fun streaming on Twitch.
If you're
at
like if you're
144p then.
streaming that to Twitch or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, have fun streaming at 144p.
yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, this is but this is like this is why the US needs like someone
but
needs to
guess
come in the
what?
US and like take control of tech because this is a joke, man.
You mean like we most of us wanted to, but then a lot of people said no. Ajit Pai is a really smart, good man for the FC, and
Hey man,
he knows what he's
posts
talking about.
He posts videos with the dank memes.
We shouldn't have regulation on the
God, do you
internet.
remember that? Do you remember that video of Ajit Pai in the Santa outfit with the fidget spinner?
Oh yeah, I forgot
Scrub
about
from
that.
my memory.
I forgot about that.
Dude,
fucking
I'm
idiot.
so happy this guy's gonna be gone.
God. What a
Because my
disgrace.
problem with it isn't, it's not that you could have a separate discussion over if his ideas were valid or not, and you could have that discussion. But when it was coming from Ajit Pai, the former head of fucking Verizon and Comcast, like, get the fuck out of here.
The problem
don't
is
know,
like
This isn't a valid conversation when
does
you're
the
sitting here
term-
like, yeah, I just got some ideas from Comcast to sell you.
Does the term conflict of interest not mean anything?
yeah, I mean the problem is like these rural areas, right? Like Max is a perfect example. Like folk art, like they
Oh,
get
dude,
like
they're fucked.
folk art
They're
doesn't even get
fucked.
internet. Like he doesn't even get cable
Yeah.
internet. He has to use DSL. Like no
no,
company
Kate's-
is going to make money giving them fucking internet. See,
Kate's parent, well, no, there is some improvements there, but it's still not good enough. But it'd be cool to see it better. Kate's parents, they were doing DSL because they live out in the country. Now, though, they get internet from T-Mobile. It's literally it's just 4 gig cell service.
yeah,
Pumped to a hotspot,
that's what's gonna have to happen because I just don't see how.
and it's 10 times better than the fucking shitty AT&T they had before.
Yeah, I don't see how they're just gonna start running. They're never gonna just start running lines out to these rural areas. It's never gonna
Sure,
happen.
but I think you could do something with that cell service type idea. The 5G world.
You have
know,
to. Yeah, I
just-
think you have to.
I mean, you do have to, but it's cheaper to build up that infrastructure. You have to build up that infrastructure anyway for cell services.
Yeah, you have to
And
do it.
like, hey, dude, before they were getting like 15 down and like 3 up, and now for the same price they're getting a whopping 30 down and 10 up. But
Hey,
baby steps, I guess.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, it blows my mind that some people in the U.S. don't even have
I was
cable internet.
I was living a half hour away from them. I had a gig up and down for the same price. They had 15 down, 3 up.
Wow. Imagine that. I mean, you might as well just use like LTE. You just hotspot.
That's what they're doing now.
Yeah.
No, that's literally what they're doing now. Is just they paying T-Mobile for a hotspot.
Yeah. I don't see it any other way because they're not gonna make money if they start running lines out, and to like try to justify and say, oh no, 3 megabytes is fast enough is just kind of a joke, especially now with like we see with like the pandemic when you need online to work, like you can't video call reliably with that. You know what I mean? Like you need like a
yeah.
good solid internet
Oh
connection.
no, they're both teachers, and they were expected to teach online classes with like 3 megabits per second.
Oh,
and, like
interesting.
10 down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm sure that worked great.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know the answer, man. Like if you live in these areas, I guess get the 10 people that you live with and hit up City Hall and just, I guess, demand some sort of like socialized internet that you all pay into, because it's crazy. At least what would be like an adequate internet? This here says 100 down, 10 up.
I would say at bare minimums you should get 50 down, 10 up. Adequate, you got to have at least 120.
That's what
I would
say
argue,
too.
but at the same time, like right now I'm sitting at 215, which isn't, it's
Down?
enough, but it's not enough.
200 down.
200 down, 15 up,
Oh, okay.
which
Yeah,
is
that's-
enough, but not enough.
That's tight too. Yeah, like if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would argue like you can stream 1080 pretty fine, but anything more than that.
I mean, you can do a little more than with 15. You just not
You know, maybe the
perfectly, and
answer.
it depends on when where you're sending it to. I can get away, like for me, I can get away with 15 easier because I'm sending it
Mhm.
40 minutes down the road to fucking Atlanta where the server is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Versus like if I'm trying to send it to New York, I'm fucked.
yeah, yeah. I would agree. Probably 1020 is probably like at least the minimum. I would say it would be good enough. You know what I mean? I mean, what's Korea
Ideally-
at? What's Korea at? Let's find out.
Really good.
Korea general population internet.
Didn't
Just look
Korea's
at the-
internet
look
infrastructure
up Seoul.
like really good?
Yes,
Like it's
like
really good.
mouth watering good. But I mean, at the same time, their country's the size of New Jersey, so
That's fair.
I mean, it's bigger than that. But we do have a harder issue, unfortunately, in America, just because we're the size of America and Canada.
yeah.
Like, we got a lot of land, and no one in that land except for people.
All right, so it says here according to Wiki, that there is a rollout plan currently happening where pretty much every household should be getting gigabit, which is 1,000 up and 1,000 down. That's gigabit. Which is what should be. That should be what's good enough, because we can do it. It's not expensive. Like, you have to run the lines out. You have to have the infrastructure put in place. That's expensive. But to actually do it is not.
Is the first step actually having them treat internet like a utility?
Yeah.
Like, is that the first step? We have to do that first, right?
Yeah, which is hard.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the answer though.
Well, I mean, if you want
to,
if you want a gig up and a gig down, that is the answer. Unfortunately, basically.
But that could have the opposite effect. That could be like, well, now everyone gets 3 megabytes down. You know what I mean? Because it's good enough. That's what we're paying for. We need to take the money out and give it to fucking more.
Well, we got to break up monopolies, and let's be honest. Like, there's multiple companies, but they're running essentially regional monopolies.
Yeah, they can control the price.
They've got plans in place. So like, okay, this is our portion. You don't come in here. The Comcast, this is us. And then you've got Verizon, Fios, which is like, all right, yeah, you've got your space. It's like fucking.
Hey, no, dude. The rest of the world's now Spectrum, because Ajit Pai was like, hey, yeah, Charter, the savior of the Midwest.
God, Charter's awful.
No, take that back. Charter is amazing. Spectrum is cancer.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Cox. That's what I'm thinking of.
They're all fucking cancer.
Cox
They're literally
Charter,
all cancer.
Charter was actually really fucking good, but then they let Charter buy out.
Used to be Time Warner Cable, and then Time Warner Cable.
Well, no, that's Spectrum now. Yes, Charter bought them out and then became Spectrum, but they also bought out Bright House in the South, and they also let them buy something in California, so they're everywhere now. And it sucks because Charter, what I think of as Charter, old Midwest Charter, was actually really good. But anywhere outside of the Midwest, it's cancer, dude.
Yeah.
Because I'm using it right now, and like the service I get down here from the same company is cancer compared to what I had up north.
And then there's like deals that the states do with like these private companies that like they won't even allow companies like Verizon or T-Mobile to come in, because it's just they make these like long fucking 20-year deals. It's just a huge fucking disaster.
Yeah, welcome to lobbies and the glory.
That's
more like a local. That's a
local issue. Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh no, it's awful.
But it's going back to that what we were talking about earlier is like
there's no freedom of choice.
Right, but it's also because the expensive internet is laying the cable.
Yeah,
entirely. Laying that cable, that upfront cost is fucking massive.
Yeah.
But after that, you're fucking golden.
And then you can't just lay the cable because everyone's cabled up already. So you have to pay off the companies and rent whatever their fucking service is, so you can lay their cables on their lines. And then it just becomes this whole clusterfuck. And then they all get into these backdoor deals. It's a joke.
Our poor infrastructure of the past comes to bite us in the ass.
But if Elon or like an Elon company shoots a fucking satellite in the sky and just spits out Wi-Fi to everyone, and it's quick enough, then these companies will have to get their shit together.
If I'm remembering that story, had a negative. Was it the? I think that's satellites. We would actually be. It would make it tougher for us to actually observe space.
Oh, who gives a fuck? What do you need to know out there?
I mean, my bigger problem with that is I think
that's going to come to Earth, then it would be hard to actually track it.
What are you going to do? Move the Earth? Then we're all fucked anyway.
Satellites getting better, but like, dude, I don't want to lose my internet because of a fucking electrical storm. Like, I don't want a thunderstorm going across and then like, oh, my dish is out, dude. I'm fucked.
Oh my god, my dad had dish for no.
Dude, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the same shit.
I've never experienced the dish
out
life
because it's raining.
Yeah, I've never had to experience that life.
I would much rather them say, "Hey, dude, we're going to 5G we're going to 6G the fucking countryside." You know what I mean? Cuz like if you actually have it on a cell tower on the ground, you know what I mean? You're going to have a better time than I'm beaming it from space.
I guess the question is this is where the debate comes in. because that needs to happen, right? We all want fastest internet. We're all willing to pay for it. But do we trust the
I wanna move
government?
back to East Lansing, dude. I had fucking thousand for $40.
Yeah. But it's like, do we all want to trust the government to do it, or do we all want to trust like a private entity to do it? And it's
I want to trust the government to do it.
I know we
but
want to trust the government, but
I can't
you trust either?
can you ever trust the government? Can
Yeah,
you
that's
ever?
the problem. Is like I can't trust either. It's
Say
like
damned if you do,
I
damned
should,
if you don't.
in theory, I should be able to trust the government enough
Right.
to do that.
Right.
But the last 4 years have shown us I cannot trust the government to do that.
Exactly. Because this is what would happen,
Well, it's
right?
also I can't trust your common American to elect a government capable of doing that. Let's put it that way.
And this is what I would see happening. We would all start paying for this awesome internet. They'd all start rolling it out, and then a new administration comes in. I'm cutting the funding. We need money to go into fucking Iraq, and then now you have 5G in like a
flip
tiny
side,
town.
The flip side to do that is you'd have to spin it off as its own entity, like the Fed or like something like an actual utility service that isn't a political post.
And you probably need to put like a couple million jobs on the line there, because once there's a lot of jobs on the line, then it's really hard to start cutting that shit, even though they do it anyway. But it's
Like
a lot harder.
you would have to make like
It
or like
could
the
be
post
done.
office or something like that. Like you'd have to make it its own politically neutral entity of like, cool, you can't try to weaponize this for my side versus your side bullshit.
Yeah,
and just make it like, hey, here's really good internet.
It could be done. I don't know. It's probably a pipe dream in some place as big as the U.S. or as big as fucking like Russia or something. But
I mean, I still think it's doable. It's just
maybe in like 20 years we'll see that.
It's gonna take too long. Is the shitty part.
When
but
we all
also
just like
waiting for fucking Charter or Comcast is all. It's gonna take just as long either too.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we agree that that's not fast enough. All right, I just wanted to show these real quick. So if you guys
Like
want a 3080,
unless you can get unless we can start getting more third-party small mom and pops to work with local governments, it's not going to get better.
You know, the actual freedom of choice that we were promised.
that hasn't existed in a long time. But
No.
instead, you can get these cool shoes, dude. Look at these shoes that this person
Shoes are
made.
so fucking dumb.
Dude, those are sick.
Have fun
they're
with the
not,
scalpers
dude.
on that one.
You don't want these? You wouldn't walk around fucking Georgia with these?
No.
Hell no, dude. I
DBZ.
won't walk around anywhere with those.
The
Dude,
NZXC.
but I hate big shoes. I was always the
You're a small
Vans,
shoe guy?
I'm the Vans, the
fuck
New
is
Balance,
this?
like
I'm a
Sony
big shoe
skates.
guy. Yeah, I'm a big
I'm
shoe
not
guy.
like fuck your Osiris bullshit.
Osiris.
giant fucking fake shoes, dude. Those look like fucking trash.
First of all, why is it playing anime?
Because why
Dude.
not? Because why
Dude.
not?
Dude, I don't use this word often. I really don't, and I only save it for special occasions. But cringe. Fuck this shit. It's awful.
Wow, when Doobie
hell.
calls your shoe cringe, then it's fucking cringe.
I would, if somebody came
I don't know
by
what you're
wearing
talking
these,
about.
I'd smack the shit out of them.
I don't know what you're
Oh no,
talking
you'd
about.
never wear these, dude. I could consider this. As
I
like
wear
a
these
shell-
right now, dude.
Oh fuck no! I can consider
This
it as a
is the
shelf, like a
lamest
shelf
thing.
piece. If it was on the shelf behind me, like like what over here, that could look kind of cool. I would never fucking wear those.
An
in my life.
anime shoe, anime 3080
You know what?
shoe.
This know what this is on equal level with? People who wear ahigo, whatever that fucking anime chick, cross-eyed, tongue out, hentai shit. When they put that on a sweatshirt, this is the same level. That person wearing that hoodie should be wearing these shoes.
I don't know. I think they're pretty fucking cool. Now, the more that I look at them,
God, this shit is awful.
Yeah,
I love the
sorry,
fan.
man, and a fan.
I love the fan on the shoes. Fitting,
I'm gonna make
dude.
fun of this shit so hard.
Dude, these are way better than the fucking Assassin's Creed's Yeezys. Okay, at least we're starting to get somewhere.
But can I spend $1,800 to get these and actually get a 3080 with them?
I don't know.
Can I get is that the legendary collector's
All right,
edition?
well, let me ask you: if you could literally buy these right now for the MSRP of a 3080, it's the shoe, but you plug it into your PC. Would you do it?
I would consider it.
Yeah, I know.
if I could rip it off of the shoe, I would consider it.
All right.
Where's that Sonic the Hedgehog Puma shoe they made? I would
Now-
wear
Oh,
that.
right, yeah.
no. where that could actually be interesting is, okay, so say that is a 3080 and it just has a PCIe on the bottom. If you had one of those thermal take wall mounted cases that are just open,
Yeah, you could just plug it in
if you
right
just
in
plop it in right there and it's just a shoe on your motherboard now, that could be goofy and interesting.
Have we gone
I'd
from
be
shoe
into
on
it.
head to shoe on motherboard?
Yeah, shoe on
Yeah,
case.
like that could be interesting at least, I guess. Not my style, but like
When do you just make a fashion
just-
PC that's just a PC that's like a t-shirt?
Like a
pants,
yeah.
like a Brooks Brothers outfit that's a PC at the same time.
yeah, but that could at least look good. We're
and-
like you're finding like that. That's my problem with that shoe. Like that's the biggest problem I have with it. Is it's like,
There's
dude,
a
that
lot
looks
of
like
problems with it.
that looks like a shitty Osiris fucking skater shoe from 2008 that you'd see on like a 500-pound chick. Like those shoes don't look good.
I think they look fucking sick, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just the scenes kid shoe at the skater park who doesn't know how to
You
skate.
wear this
Like,
with
that's
a
what that
pair of
shoe
black
is.
skinny jeans and a studded belt. Yes, of course.
Yeah, and none of them knew how to skate. And it just looked awful.
All right, Vicarious Visions merge with Blizzard. Vicarious
I'm sorry.
Visions of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, as well as what else did they do?
They did the Crash Insane trilogy.
Oh yes. Yep.
So congrats on reinvigorating fan interest in Tony Hawk and Crash Bandicoot, games that sold really well. You are no longer allowed to be a lead developer. You don't have to work on Blizzard existing titles.
Well, did they choose to merge?
I don't believe they chose to.
That's fair.
But
That's the shit part of being owned by Activision,
and
unfortunately.
the official thing said that they are going to be working on. They're going to be essentially supporting existing Blizzard software.
I mean, I'm kind of happy with that.
They're bringing them on to work on Overwatch 2. Let's be honest.
And Diablo
I mean,
and new StarCraft.
I'd be a little bit okay with that because, like, if you're been in the
It-
Blizzard ecosystem, like the last couple of years, the customer service been real bad.
It's just gotta really suck to be like, yo, I'm working as a dev. We made two really great things. We did, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. People love Crash. We did Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, 1 and 2. People really like that. I can't wait to work on something new. Hey, you get to work on Overwatch 2 and you get to not be a lead developer on anything. So,
Yeah, but on Jerry's case,
Fine.
now they're not working on remakes. Now they're actually making new
Exactly.
games.
yeah.
Well, my counterpoint was going to be, well, look where just making remakes gets you. But
No, look where
that's the real
Activision
actual
gets you.
story but like that's what happens when you sell out to Activision, dude.
Yeah,
You
they're
just
gonna
become
fuck-
whatever Activision wants you to be.
It's
If they say work on Blizzard on Overwatch 2, you work on Overwatch 2.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of pumped on this because I'm excited to see the new Diablo stuff, and if this helps in any way, that's cool. And I couldn't give two fucking shits about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 or 2 or Crash. But that's just me. If you like those things, you're probably mad.
I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I wouldn't be fully surprised if some of them eventually leave to like form their own studio or
yeah.
something. When they're like,
Hell,
I
they
want to
should.
be
Like,
developing
straight
my
up,
own
they should.
games. Fuck this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the shit side of not being an indie studio. Basically, it's like you're an Activision studio. You're gonna do whatever Activision says. Basically,
You're at the
so no,
yeah,
you
you're at
you
the-
should
you're at
you
the
should totally
whims-
leave Activision Blizzard if you have.
You're at the
talent.
whims of your corporate masters.
Yeah, like I could see some of them leaving, and that most of them probably should. But at the same time, like the
I'm always down for
the
more
cruel
indie
the
studios.
cruel business side of me is just like, you didn't make a game, you made a remake.
Yeah.
I will say that I don't think we get Crash 4 from Toys for Bob without Insane Trilogy doing well. Which
Fair.
led to new game.
Okay.
But did they make that new game?
Toys for Bob did.
Which is a different
It's
studio.
not Vicarious Visions.
So they did it.
I'm
They
not
made a remake.
entirely- Yeah. They're hard
I
work.
mean, I'm being facetious at this point. It's just
I
funny
know
to
you
me.
are.
Well, yeah, this is like what happens when
Just wait until Toys for Bob gets the shaft, though.
anyone under Activision is just going to be dissolved into whatever Activision wants, and we'll see if it
No,
pans
that- yeah.
out. I mean, I'm holding out hope that an OG Blizzard sort of revival comes. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Blizzard so far.
I am and I'm not. They
When-
lost
when-
so much talent, dude.
When did
Yeah.
Overwatch 2 get announced?
2 years ago. Last year's BlizzCon. So
Was it
2 years
really
now.
last year?
Almost.
Or last year's
It's been
BlizzCon?
like
Has it only been 2
a year and 4 months. A year and 4
I
months.
know
I think.
I know that 2020 like aged all of us by 20 years, but it really feels like it was 3 years ago.
I know.
It was 2019. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Actually,
They announced that way too early then.
Yeah, well, they announced Diablo 2.
Have
I
we
think-
seen or
Diablo
heard
4.
anything about that game since?
No, because we don't have BlizzCon isn't happening till like next month online.
That doesn't mean they can't announce and talk about stuff.
Yeah, but they won't. Like that's the downside of
Yeah.
Blizzard is like they do shit at BlizzCon.
Yeah,
They don't do shit outside of BlizzCon unless it's Gamescom. Like they only
Man, I'm
over the
so
last
glad
over
that
the last
companies-
6 years they've only done stuff at their own event or other large conventions, and we haven't had those.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that companies started adapting for what we say about Nintendo. At least Nintendo got the directs thing right. Like we don't have to wait for just E3 or the Game Awards, like big events. Nintendo, PlayStation, Microsoft, they could all just anytime. Hey, we're gonna have a big 30-minute presentation about this, like in 2 weeks or tomorrow.
Well, that's kind of what I really liked about Cyberpunk, the lead up to Cyberpunk, is like they constantly let you know what was going on.
Hey man, as bad as the reception and the whole launch was for Cyberpunk, at least the dev looks and like those Night City or Night Watch, whatever the hell it was called.
Night City. Yeah.
Those were actually interesting. I liked watching them.
Yeah, it was like a great way to update you on the game. It's a massive game, so it makes sense. But
Yeah, the era of like big events.
I
being the
didn't
blowout
know
of all
that-
your news. I'm glad it's over.
I didn't know that the fucking Polish government gave them money.
Did they really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bad situation for CD Projekt Red. They really,
I mean, don't they have 2 class action lawsuits against them right now?
I'm pretty sure the Polish government's gonna sue them. It's pretty
Jeez,
bad.
it's-
Yeah, it's a shame, really. It's gonna make me cry. All right, last thing. Twitch revises. All right, so Twitch. This is kind of what I wanted to talk about. They banned the PogChamp thing. We didn't talk about this because we didn't do the show yet. They also banned President Trump indefinitely.
I mean, everybody banned President Trump.
everyone banned President Trump. Twitch banned President Trump. There was also
For a second time,
litany
by the way. It was the
of-
second time they banned him.
Oh, really? Second time they
Yeah.
banned them? How is that even
Yeah, so
possible?
he has one more strike before he gets perma-banned.
I'm pretty sure he's perma-banned.
In
Probably
theory,
is.
because that's
theory.
what everyone thinks, but Twitch doesn't actually have that rule written into stone. It's just whatever Twitch wants.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm going to touch on.
Twitch
Twitch
Wait,
doesn't
hold
have
on.
the 3-strike policy like YouTube does written into rules.
Right. It's
Twitch
just,
upholding their guidelines equally to everyone?
well, that's kind of the
Yeah,
whole
that's a
kind of
funny
like
joke.
crux of like what I kind of wanted to talk about.
You know, they banned people for weeks, but the lady who literally spread open her butthole live on stream got a
Oh,
TV ban,
I
and that was
saw
it.
that. I saw that. We probably shouldn't even fucking talk about that, to be
We
honest.
probably
No, we shouldn't
shouldn't.
talk about
We
that.
probably shouldn't
Heck
even
it.
talk about. Isn't that crazy? We can't even talk about that on their platform, even though it happened.
Yeah, we might get banned.
Even though it fucking actually happened, and oh my god! But
I saw the clip and I was like, damn.
I know. I was like,
shit, how bold.
there's no
Wait, 2
way.
days, that's it?
I was like, there's no way this is a real like this actually, and it is exactly what they said it was.
I just love the one mod message in the Twitch chat. What are you doing?
And then
I did not see this, but I'm gonna have to search through live stream.
okay,
pages, sounds like.
yeah, search butthole Twitch clip.
What the
And
fuck, dude?
just think about what I said, and it's exactly that. Like, there's no,
and keep in mind,
there's no like, oh, she,
2-day ban.
yeah, 2-day ban, and then someone reviewed the clip on their channel and got like a 90-day ban.
Of course.
Okay, but they also removed certain words and certain inferences of these
They-
words. On
Now,
their
my
They
question
channel.
did. We talked about that, and they did come back and say they're not banning certain words.
Yeah, not
Is it
the
certain-
words.
They were just using. It was just a very poor representation of what they want to
Is
do,
a-
and then they never clarified what they actually meant. They
Is
just
a
said, no,
certain
that was a
word-
very poor representation of what we meant.
Is a certain, I don't know, a simple word.
Yeah.
A shrimp
Is that
word.
still banned?
A shrimp word.
No, there's no. They didn't ban any single word, but they will. Go
That was
after
the
you
damn.
if
That
you're
was
using-
the funniest damn
If
thing.
you were attempting to use them in a derogatory manner, they
Yeah.
will probably go after you. But saying simp is not bannable. Saying shrimp is not bannable.
Now, if I play a game that has the word simp in a derogatory manner, can they ban my channel?
No, probably not, because they strive off and they make money off of these games, so they probably won't. Because
Yeah,
a
but at the
game
same
can
time,
have
if-
nudity, a game can have
It'll
all
still
types
get
of content.
DMCA'd for playing Spider-Man Miles Morales because EA don't give a shit about your music.
True, yeah, you might get a DMCA.
That's true.
That's a different topic
Now, there's
altogether.
Persona 5 Strikers is coming out, and somebody shared a screen cap of the localization, and there's one character calling another character saying something like, "God damn, man, you're such a damn simp."
Oh, really?
Yeah, they usually use the word simp in the localization. I was like, wow,
I don't-
really?
Wow.
It's an interesting
Yeah, I don't-
choice.
That's a very
I don't
recent...
think they will if the game you are playing says it.
Yeah, I don't
And
think
also if you take it
I just-
seriously.
I don't think
you
they
know what I
want
mean? But,
other
like,
streamers calling other streamers that. I think
Yeah,
that's
they
where
don't. They don't want you calling
They
other
don't want it in
streamers
it,
or your
yeah.
chat that.
No,
Yeah.
no bully, no cyberbully, please.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Everyone
That's what
has
they
their
were
safe
trying. At
space.
least that's what I interpreted it as, and what they said they were trying to. But
Hey,
then they
Yeah, we
It's
don't know.
Twitch,
We have
man.
no
We
idea.
don't know.
We have no idea what they actually...
their
That's the...
them
clarification that
actually-
didn't provide clarification. They just said no, we didn't mean we're.
Well, let
actually
me ask
banning
you
these
guys,
specific words.
do you guys think it's fair that they can ban people for stuff off platform? It's just going off of Trump, but Trump's kind of a bad example.
I mean, it's
Technically,
it's a
I
private
think
platform,
so.
so
Yeah.
they're free to do it. I mean, if you break,
Is
their
it a
terms of
shitty
service,
thing
even
to
if it's
do?
offline, it's
But does their terms
Yeah,
of
it's a shitty
service
thing.
apply to offline? You know what I mean?
If you are
No, if you
a
have
partner
to read
streamer,
it.
yes, it does.
there you go.
Well, I'm not talking.
Does that account for affiliates too?
Oh, I see what you mean. So if you're
I guess as
partnered,
long as you receive money from them.
I don't know what the affiliate.
I assume affiliate would also be held to
I
that
don't.
same standard.
I would think so, but I'm not entirely sure what the
if you
affiliate
were
contract
if
is
you were
worded
receiving
as.
money, if you're receiving money from Twitch, like a payout, then I assume you're held to the same standard.
so you have
Yeah,
to.
but
So offline.
I'm pretty sure
stuff
the
and-
partner. I'm pretty sure the partnership
Like, they already get
does have a
20
clause in there of like.
Like I know
This is what
Twitch
we can
gets Twitch technically gets 24-hour first rights. You're not supposed to multi-stream if you're affiliate or partner. And you can't upload anything to YouTube until a full 24 hours or any other service. until the
Unless
full
you have a
24 hours has
special
passed.
unless you have a special
Unless
contract,
you have a
which
special
people
contract. Yeah.
Yeah, but can you
And
get
you don't know
banned?
the rules of those
But
special
can you?
contracts.
But will they ban you for offline stuff? Is what I want to know.
do. That's what I'm saying. Is
I-
I think that is built into the partner level contract, but I don't know about other.
Yeah, I don't know
outside
what
of that.
I don't know what the COD is, or the COC is, the code of conduct.
But I think some of them like it's one of those. It could be written into the code of conduct, and if the contract says you have to follow code of conduct, like that's technically in your contract. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the problem is like as all of these partners and stuff like that, they even if they haven't been around for a while, like they technically are in a legally binding agreement.
So
you know what I mean?
I will say this because this does have some kind of like.
But what if you're not like Trump wasn't?
Say
You know, Trump's a
Discord.
bad example. But like he wasn't a partner. You know what I mean? He wasn't an affiliate in any way. Like, say you are just like
I feel like that's I don't know.
Well, just say you're a public figure and then there's a lot of heat on you. Do you think it's right that they can kind of enforce their TOS on you off of their platform?
I think
That's kind
you
of
could
crazy.
possibly
I
use
think
it to
is it
incite
right?
violence.
Yes. No. Not ignore the inciting violence. Ignore the fact that it's Trump. Just that idea right there. Yes, I think they legally have a right.
Well,
They-
sure.
legally-
In the
yeah,
United,
legally
they have a
a
right. Like if you're
Yeah.
using the word right, yes, they 100% have the right to do
No,
that.
I mean
Is it
more
a
as
scummy
like,
thing to do? Yes.
yeah, I mean it more.
morally is different than legally.
I mean more as like a moral
Like
sort of.
as a morally thing. No, it's kind of fucking lame. To be, like, let's be real. It's kind of lame. It's the same thing with cancel culture to an extent of just like, hey, dude, well, I'm gonna ban you off of everything because you made a tweet when you were 12, 17 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's to me that's insane.
There's certain areas where like the person that makes a tweet 10 years ago who apologizes for it, but people are still saying you need to be canceled, even though they've expressed regret and they're trying to show that they're a better person. Versus the guy who's like, oh yeah, that joke I made, I totally stand by that. Here's more hate speech. Oh no, you
Right.
deserve to be canceled. Fuck
no,
you.
and I'm not trying to drag that into like cancel. You know what I mean? But like that's how I feel.
Area.
Yeah, well, it kind of does. Where it's just
I'll
like,
bring up Discord, right? Discord.
yeah, it's
So,
hard to
let's say-
travel bans, like where it's like, okay, if I get banned off of YouTube, that like in theory that should have
Right. Yeah.
nothing to do with my Twitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the 2021 world, depending on the level of publicity you have, it does carry.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened with the Capitol riots and like how that kind of spurned into like a fractioning of a lot of personalities on the right. And for whatever it's worth, like it's a crazy thing that happened. And, you know, we can argue if it was right to take them off these platforms. But I'm more interested in like,
I think it is.
I mean, I'm more interested in like, is this something that we're just going to now expect to happen? If you get banned on YouTube, you can expect to get banned on Twitter, on Facebook, on Discord, on every major social media platform.
I think it depends on the circumstances. Why did you
Yeah.
get banned? Was it a DMCA thing? Then no.
Yeah, but they don't. That's the thing is like they have any right to ban you for any reason. You know what I mean? And they're not going
Yeah.
to give you a reason
Well,
why.
They do.
That
I would argue that
like I said,
precedent hasn't
legally-
been set yet.
Yeah,
That's the issue. You could make the case with the PogChamp stuff that precedence was starting to get set, but I think this is a one-off situation of like, well, you tried to make an insurrection against the U.S. government, like that's could also be the precedence of just a one-off type.
But
thing.
I'm just so curious. Like, I'm curious because, like, say you're at a protest for Black Lives Matter, and now all of a sudden we see this happening on other platforms, right? Maybe Parler starts banning you, and then fucking you're banned on 4chan or whatever. Like, there's like, you can't have the both sides thing because it just gets way too crazy, way too messy. I think there needs to be a lot more careful discernment between if we're gonna just have a massive like tech ban. You know what I mean? Just to me, it's out of control.
Well,
And it sucks because
I think
this is what happens.
I think there has been for the most part, though. Like, what other situation? Like, who else has been tech banned?
I mean, all right. Well, I don't know. Off the top of my head,
is the
I'm
PogChamp guy even banned on Twitter?
no. I'm
Oh,
not.
he got his
I'm
account
not-
locked. Yeah,
I'm
no,
not-
he got his account
Locked,
locked.
but
I
not
have no-
banned.
I have no idea.
Because that was his argument for Twitch not banning him. Is like, I didn't even get my account locked for that tweet. I got my account locked for this tweet.
Yeah, I don't even
I mean,
know.
the
what
dude's
that is.
a-
Mind blowing
garbage.
argument.
The dude's a garbage human being to begin with.
That was just the best part of that argument. Was just like, yeah, dude, I don't know why Twitch is banning me for this tweet when Twitter banned me for this
Listen,
tweet.
I'm
It
all in
wasn't
favor
that
of just
tweet wasn't even
I'm-
that bad.
I'm all in favor of just silencing QAnon. Honestly, fuck them.
I think
I don't
think
know,
that
man.
One there you could have a more general argument. The whole Trump thing is the only person I can think though who was like banned off of
He's
everything.
just so high profile.
This is my
Right.
problem. There's no like there's
And
no
so
way
influential.
there's no redemption. There's no way you can redeem yourself. Like what happened with Dash Vapes on YouTube. Dash Vapes is a huge fucking YouTube channel. They banned him. No one knows why. There's no real recourse for him to get his channel back. And like when you see that, it's like at least have some sort of answer for that, or at least have some sort of
Yeah.
like this is what you have to do to get your accounts back, because it becomes
There
tough.
should
like,
be pressure
especially
for
when
the
especially when they start colluding. When you start to see like
Yeah.
a massive sort like that
Was
really
Dash
worried
banned
me.
anywhere else or just YouTube?
Just YouTube, yeah. Just
Okay.
YouTube for now.
It'd be different. I mean, it would be even more wild if they got banned from.
That's yeah,
Twitch.
that's my problem with.
But
this
that's kind of what
argument
worried
is-
me, you know.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
right,
no.
but that's my problem with this argument is like so far the only case of this happening's been Trump, and that is a special.
I mean,
Case, you know what I mean?
There's Alex Jones. We can put Alex Jones on there. I
Okay,
mean, there's
yeah, but
there's
like
a
that's
few others.
again going into
Celebrity.
well,
high profile.
you spent you're a high profile dude who spent 6 years telling a bunch of murdered children's parents that they're the reason it happened.
Yeah. No, I
Like-
understand. I completely understand. Like, cause like I don't even want to debate those specific instances. I'm more interested in debating if that.
Right, but I guess my problem with it is like, I think we're okay. I guess that would be my argument for the debate so far, is we've been okay because there hasn't been so far that precedence of a collusion of just like, yeah, you did something stupid on YouTube and you got banned on Twitch. Like that hasn't happened yet.
There hasn't.
And
been
it is a terrifying thought, that especially for content creators, like if this is my livelihood, like that is a conversation to have. And
it's so quick. I think it's so quick to also for people to like.
For me, it's we have to put pressure on Twitch. We have to put pressure on YouTube. We have to put pressure on these companies where I'm signing a contract to effectively work for you as an independent contractor, and I can get that taken away from me at any time. But we have to start pressuring these companies to have more transparency of like, this is why, this is what happened, this is your next steps.
Yeah.
That is a conversation we do need to have, of just
and
like
consistency.
Because it's going to my biggest problem with Twitch and the DMCA shit that's been happening. I understand DMCA exists. That's not the issue with how Twitch handled DMCA. The issue with how Twitch handled DMCA was just banning people saying they have a DMCA claim and never providing proof, which is literally legally impossible.
They covered their own ass and said, you, our user base, and you, the people who like stream on our site, we're gonna protect our ass, but your ass is getting thrown under the bus.
Right, but that's not even, again, that's part of the problem I have with it, but that's not even it. It's people have been getting DMCA claims and not being told what was claimed. That's illegal. Yeah. Like straight up, the ruling, the way DMCA is written is, if I get issued a DMCA, I have to be told what is being claimed. Yeah, they've never been told that. That's fucked up.
I used to think YouTube had the worst DMCA with the fake claims.
It did, but now they're the best.
Some of the Twitch ones.
Now they're the best. Yeah, now
I saw.
Because they'll at least tell you why you're getting your money.
And they'll give you a little moment of when, and then you can try to fix it.
And somebody got a DMCA claim. Somebody got a DMCA claim for playing Persona 5, and the song that was listed as a DMCA claim was the use of a police siren sound effect in the game.
Yeah.
But
that's ridiculous.
They don't even have to know that. They just know that's this, and this is where it's going with
and
that. Twitch isn't even doing the full due process of like, so why did I get a DMCA claim? You actually, by law, have to tell me what I am being served in a DMCA. Like, you have to tell me that. I literally legally have that right to know what infraction I am infringing, basically. And they're not doing that.
And I think there's another issue too. It's like, because like on the right wing side, there's a lot of people that are going the opposite and saying we need to make sure these platforms cannot allow anyone to be removed. These are public space. I don't believe that either. I should be able to moderate my website and my forums in any possible way that I need to. And
exactly. As someone who lives and works on the internet, fuck nah, dude.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I've worked on sites that do run under safe harbor, and that's you can't actually do that.
And this is
literally the way any site is set up in the U.S. That doesn't exist. That was my problem with Parler throwing this big fit of like, why are you banning us? Like, that's not how safe harbor works. Literally, to be able to have an open website like that, you have to literally provide proof to the government that you are attempting to moderate it, so people can't just put up child porn and bullshit. Yeah, that's literally how safe harbor operates.
Yeah,
and I tell you, a lot of people like to spout, and it was the saddest thing.
That's the way the law set up.
Spout First Amendment. It's like, do you not know how
they're not the government
fucking works?
Yeah. It's
you
insane.
like to spout it, but you don't know what it means.
You intentionally said that I cannot have the internet as a utility government service. It's not the government. Fuck off.
Yep.
But I mean, you have to see it from a lot of other people's point of view. Like, if you are someone that watches Alex Jones, you're a diehard Trump fan, you're indoctrinated in that world, and then all of a sudden they're banned from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and then all of a sudden Like that's insane. Like you're a person. You're like, what the fuck is going on? I should be able to I can hear my know what my president is saying and know what's going on. He's not gonna go on like fucking the radio and talk about his shit. He's gonna go on Twitter. He's gonna go on Facebook. So like I see it from both angles. It's like this back and forth is just gotta stop. There needs to be some sort of consistency between these policies because this is getting crazy. It's getting crazy.
I do agree, but it's also. I agree, but I also don't because I think Trump's the trickiest topic.
Right, that's the problem.
Because that's
the problem.
He's a presidential figure. I can see you making that argument. If your argument is Alex Jones, sorry, dude. Like that's the harder part for me. Is like I agree that happens and that sucks, but the only people that I've noticed that happening to are people who openly, knowingly broke the rules.
Yeah.
And then they're expecting special treatment, even though they openly violated the terms of service. Like it's a both sides there of just like,
yes, the consequences of my actions we meet.
I'm curious to see like how far
it's like a lot of people don't have this issue because they just follow the terms of service. Like I haven't seen a ton of Twitch streamers that I follow get banned ever. Because they follow the rules. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Code Mika just got banned.
That one's weird. That one is weird. I don't know why.
I mean, there's people that get banned all the fucking time.
I agree. I know.
It's
Twitch,
crazy.
I'm going this more on to YouTube, I guess, because I can actually look at YouTube and say, I never thought I'd be saying this about YouTube and about Google, but like, they're almost the safe haven right now because they at least say, this is the fucking rules. If you break them, this is what happens. If you whatever, like
kind of, I mean, just going on the Dash Vapes argument, like this is kind of what I'm worried about.
True, but that's the problem with that's a government problem. The Trump government made that problem with Badget Pie made that a problem of hosting vape channels on YouTube.
This is kind of like what because we see vaping it kind of goes against what the consensus from like the acronym groups like the American Health and American Lung, and at any point these groups can be like, well, we are just going to follow what they say, and then immediately the policy goes around, well, we have to follow whatever these government sort of funded organizations are saying, and now there's that collusion between the private and the government. And if you're a small business, then you can't operate without an Instagram, you can't operate without a Twitter, you can't operate without a Facebook.
I agree, but that is a different discussion to me than the broader discussion of like everyone, because then you are specifically dealing with legally controlled substances and advertisement of them, which does, even media wise, falls under a separate, like it's its own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it all gets tricky. It all gets tricky.
You can't just have cigarette commercials everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm like, the government sees it that way, which we can all disagree with, but that's the way the government sees it, and that's the rules. Unfortunately, we have to run under.
Did they pass a law about vape commercials on TV?
Yeah, kind of.
Because that's
not
why,
really though. The problem
is
why
you saw Twitter. Well, that was also going again into what I was talking about earlier of safe harbor. Badget Pie changed those rules slightly and made it a lot harder. Yeah. You have to follow safe harbor, and that's why you saw a couple of years ago
you just see
all the weed channels,
ads.
all the vape channels, all the tobacco channels, all of them getting struck off of YouTube, getting struck off of Reddit, like that. Yeah. That was Badget Pie.
Meanwhile, on Twitch, if you get an ad, odds are it's a truth ad that's spouting bullshit.
Yeah. And like, I'm wondering, where's the point where that stuff, where that it becomes the policy? That becomes, well, now you can't make a fucking YouTube account to tell people, look, there's an alternative path that you could take to quit smoking before, oh, this is against our policy because truth says so.
If there's a giant vape blackout by tech, like all of
right,
just
and I'm just using it as an example.
I'm just straight up censor vaping.
Yeah, and I'm just using that as an example. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of other industries that are sort of,
If you tweet the word vape, you're banned.
Because like you're
banned.
It started with the vaccine stuff, right? We can all agree that anti-vaxxing is out of control, but there's that slippery slippery slope of like, well, if you start to remove that stuff, how far does it go? Does it go into actual scientifically proven effective methods of this or effective methods of that? Are we going to start to remove marijuana stuff from states that aren't legal? Like, can you start to put up?
that's
You know
already
what I mean?
that's already happened.
Like,
that's
it gets
When are we
crazy.
gonna have
in
another
my
reefer
opinion.
madness?
And then they can just remove you and not tell you why, and now you can't go. And now they're gonna start colluding with each other. Where YouTube took you down, so now you can't go on Twitter, you can't make an Instagram, you can't make a Facebook.
Yeah, I still think the collusion parts.
We
harder.
haven't seen a mass sort of collusional banning yet, but
And that is I agree, that is the scary thing. But like,
that's kind
I
of where
think
I'm
that's
like,
just
what the
harder
fuck?
because it's.
I mean, the insurrection's crazy.
I don't think they're yeah,
That's the
like,
problem.
I don't think they're going. I don't think they're going to do that unless they think they have a case that can stand up in court to do that. Does that make sense? Like you have it. That will. I think the mass collusion type banning can only happen where it's like, well, yeah, you violated our terms of service too. So,
Yeah,
like
right now
you
it's
have to
just-
legally have to break that because it
it's
has
a
to be able to stand
fear-
up.
It's a fear to have and a concern to have until we actually get a precedence on it.
Yeah, I think and I
But,
mean, in terms of
you can't just not stay, like, you can't not at least be somewhat concerned. And
like,
you have to have some level. You don't have to be overly concerned. But you have to have like some, even if it's just in the back of your head. It's like, okay, if we start seeing the signs of this, then we need to really talk about it.
yeah.
But it's always going to be something
And
that could happen theoretically.
I do agree though, it should be talked about because that's where my takeaway, I guess, is we do need to put pressure on Twitch. We need to put pressure on YouTube. We need to put pressure on Twitter, like especially Twitter.
Any bans should be transparent and consistent.
It's so tricky because
Right,
you
but
need to be
also
able to moderate.
You have to have
effectively too. Like
it's that because that's Twitter's problem is Twitter and Twitch are in the same field of having problems of like, well, we have a rule set sort of, and we'll moderate it when we feel it's necessary.
Yeah, like there has to be like if there is
it has to be the YouTube style of like, here's the rules, follow them.
Yeah.
And if you don't, we ban you. Don't care who you are. Like it has to be that authoritative, I guess, like mindset when it comes to the rules of like it
and it has to be everyone.
It has to be all of these sites having here's our rule set, and if you break them, you will get punishment. Not like, well, we decided to ban you for 2 days because we like you, but that guy he broke the rules, so we got to ban him for 7. And that person like.
And when they ask why, we're not going to tell you.
Freedom of speech, we're not going to ban him.
I think back to a YouTube video I saw. It was like a skit about like bannings on Twitch. Just like, what did they do? This. Give me the 20-sided die.
You don't know.
The 20-sided die.
14 days.
Yeah.
But they said all they said was they just said fuck. Yeah, 14 days. All right, with this one, lady opens butthole. 2 days.
Yeah.
What? How? Just roll the d20.
Yeah, I think consistency would really help out. Like a real.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, that would really help.
I do agree with you. It's like that's the only answer I have for you right now of like how we can fix that problem and have a little bit like feel better about it, I guess. Without so to say is like we do need that transparency of just like, hey, here's the rule set, and it's. You have to then follow said rule set.
You notice I thought
that's the bigger issue.
I was
like,
thinking
Twitch
about
and
it
Twitter
as well.
Don't follow their fucking rule set.
I was thinking about it also as well because this is just going to grow into a bigger and bigger issue as more and more as we rely so much on these platforms. There needs to be like a government social media that you can't get banned from. You say whatever the fuck you want. You want to be a Nazi on there, you can be a Nazi. You want to be a this, you can be a that.
You just want a Thunderdome. You want an internet Thunderdome.
You just know that you can get that.
So fucking
that sounds
terrifying.
like the most toxic place that would exist with just how people work with the
hell, dude, well, no.
It has to happen.
Idea.
Hell no, dude.
Awful
I'm the fucking kid here who is like.
It has to happen.
Hell yeah,
the Wild
socialism and
West.
fuck that, dude. I do not want the government having any access to my social media profile.
I mean, you don't have to go on it. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't have to go on it. But there needs to be I think there needs to be a platform that you just know like you're not there. That's it. Like,
Hell yeah, dude. Let's make Big Brother. Like, fuck, man.
yeah. Well, I mean, we already have Big Brother. We're already all on social media. You know what I mean?
That's valid.
I'm
but
I just want. I'm thinking back to the Capitol. How the FBI tweeted out, "We're looking for information on these people that the people that were openly filming with no masks and no hiding their identity." But during BLM riots, they were able to find a woman based upon an Etsy shirt she was wearing through the sales of that Etsy shirt. But they need our help to find people with that didn't wear masks and didn't hide their identity.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I mean,
Well, you know what's crazy is like there's this.
Well, they found them, and thank God they did. But like,
There's that
they did not.
I
I don't know. I just don't know how stupid you are.
I will say
Your consequences weren't going to come from that.
if you want a Twitch clip to live in infamy, just go find the Hassan.
butthole clip?
Just,
Oh
no,
yes.
just
I
not
know
not even
about-
that. Go find Hassan just like watching Derek Evans.
It's really good.
Fucking Hassan ripping into Derek Evans, live streaming himself. Derek Evans is in the Capitol.
I recommend watching Hassan.
He's been killing it.
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
He's,
he has.
Right now, he's at 52,000 subs for a month.
He's a fucking idiot.
It's good for him.
What was I just about to say? I forget. I don't know. Are we allowed to say the word simp? That's the real question at the end of the day.
Yeah, we are. Just don't.
Are you sure?
use it.
I didn't look it
Yeah.
up. All right. As long
Yeah,
as
no,
you're
you
sure.
are. Like you're allowed to use the word.
I
it's
just can't
not in a
call
derogatory
you.
manner.
I can't call you a simp.
Correct.
Okay.
But yeah, you can still. Yeah.
But what if you use it in
For Latin. What if
in
you?
a friendly manner? Like, what's up, my simp?
Yeah.
I think technically that is allowed, but have fun with the roulette wheel, dude.
I
Like,
know, right? Have fun.
just because
rolling
you know
dice.
you're saying it in a friendly manner doesn't mean Twitch knows that.
Oh
roll,
God. Now,
roll them dice.
now we're bringing the fucking the world of intent.
Get you two. Get
Exactly. Yeah.
You
The,
two-sided die
no, that's
and don't roll
that's
craps.
basically what I understood. Is like, no, they're trying to only ban you if the intent seems bad, and that's
Oh, great.
yeah.
That'll really work out well.
Going back to just make a fucking rule set, but yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. Good first episode. I think the format's working well. What do you guys think? I think this is a good way to streamline things, even though it didn't make it any shorter. It did streamline it a little more.
Definitely somewhat more concise.
Yeah, at least we get a little bit more of a. At least we learn more. We learn that we can't say simp,
It's
and we
it's
learn
more
that you can put
in-depth
the 3080 in a
than
pair of
talking
shoes.
It's more in depth than talking about random video game release on this day. Hey, it's happening. Cool. Next
Yeah,
topic.
random JRPG releasing updates. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Every Friday now, 8 p.m. No Life Digital. Follow. Bye-bye.